Ooby-doo, it's everyone's favorite boomer and vintage lens enthusiast. Today we're going to be looking at more at a classic lens on a rather brand spanking new body. So this is the deal. I'm sure you could read this. It says EFS 15 to 85 millimeter image stabilizer ultrasonic. It's 3.5 to 5.6 USM. Canon zoom lens, blah, blah, blah. Oh, where's it made? Does it say where it's made? Somewhere? Does it say Japan on the front? It says Canon Inc., but that doesn't mean where it's made. Well, I can't say. I bought this lens used. I was very satisfied with it, with on the SL2, the T3i, the T1i. I found it to be a good performer. But lately, my cat, I gave him $1,000 for Christmas, well, because he was sick, and that's what the vet bill cost me. So I figured if I give him $1,000 for Christmas, I should get myself something for Christmas. So I wanted to buy one of these brand new spanking R cameras that are full frame. But I looked at the prices and they were just too expensive. So the R7 is a mirrorless camera. It's 35 megapixels. So I said, yeah, that's a step up from the 20s and 24s I got. So I figured with the Canon mount adapter EF to EOS R and a spare battery, it was somewhat over $1,500. So that was doable. So I went for it. I did some preliminary tests, but I did a final real test. I went to the Pok. I took a walk in the Pok, and it was a rather chilly day and windy. I wanted to torture test the camera, and I took the usual pictures of rocks and blocks and trees and lakes, and as my standard, they're my standards. So the colors and dynamic range is fantastic. But was it really, really sharp? Was the 35 megapixel showing the limitations of this lens, or did I have it set wrong? Let's look. Menu. Well, in Wrench, the most important thing is a folder select. If you want to make a new folder, like you got to do it twice. You got to go down here and hit this, and then you could create a folder, but I'm not going to. So I hit Menu. We go back and back. What else do I have? Airplane mode. I always have that on because it saves battery. It does. AF point display. It shows you where the camera picked the AF point. It puts like a red box there. So if I notice that the box isn't on the subject, then maybe I should take another picture. Slideshow, cropping, does some cool stuff in the camera. AF. Focus ring rotation means the ring, this ring, right? But then they have this a lens electronic manual focusing. Let's see what that says. One shot enabled magnify. So I'm going to see if that works, right? So let's go back to menu. Electronic full-time manual focus, enable, because it doesn't have a regular magnifier where you can magnify something and see if it's in focus. So you have to do the color peaking, and then when it gets in focus, it puts a red outline around everything. Okay, let's go back here. Limit AF area. Well, I picked these two, a spot and a spot. That's sensitivity AF point select. Sensitivity AF point select. I have it on +1, and that's it. You got a 0 or a -1. I have it on +1. I think that helps with the focus. Or orientation link point. No, I sing for both. Oh, what the heck. Drag and drop AF settings. I have that disabled. I'm old school. One shot AF release prior. Preview AF. Let's see, what does that say? Enable. Lens drive when AF possible, I have off. AF assist beam, I have that on. Servo case A, well, that seems more broadly appropriate. It's very complicated now these days to set up your camera. Subject to detect none. Well, you could detect a person, an animal, or a car. So I have none. Eye detection, I think I'll disable that for now. Subject tracking I have on, which is good because if you have to like move the camera over to get the autofocus to pick something that it could pick and then recompose, it tracks that point. So that's pretty cool. AF area, did we look at that? 1 point AF. AF operation servo, that means it keeps going back and forth, which is supposed to be more accurate. And that's pretty much it. That's for movies. Image stabilizer mode, auto level, I'll have to try that. Drive mode, interval design, it does intervals, either singles or for movies. Lens aberration correction, there it is, EFS S1585, purple, on, I have all that stuff on, right? White balance, that's all normal stuff. Exposure compensation, auto lighting optimizer. It seems to boost the highlights. Highlight tone priority is off, but I don't think I need it. Image quality, still aspect ratio, blah, blah, blah. So it's got all this stuff. It looks like I'm going to have to play with it. I'm going to have to read the manual, actually. Otherwise, it's a basic Canon camera. And like I said, this is a old EOS, but you need the adapter. So I bought it as a, the body, the adapter, an extra battery. I'm good to go. Oh, you could control the focusing with this thing. How about that? So that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a pretty neat camera. It's very robust looking. Looks like it has a nice build quality. It's supposed to be semi-pro, whatever the hell that means. I don't know what that means. And I think the quality of the images are good. 35 megapixels, maybe showing the limitation of this lens. I'm not sure. I shot a lot of f8. It looks like I got better results at f11, which is scary, And it didn't pick the right focus sometimes, and you'll see that in the slideshow. The proof is in the pudding, right? Now, I could talk forever about this camera, but if you actually look at the pictures, you say, wow, it's a good camera, or whatever you want to think. So it's a little heavy. That's a little brickish. With this lens, it's heavy. That's definitely heavy. That's compared to the T series, which is somewhat lighter. But, I'm a man. I'm strong. I don't care. So let's look at some pictures, and then you could decide what it's all about. This rock is really flat. So I used a wide aperture. This is the B picture. In case you're not familiar, what I do is I take a 16:9 crop, full frame crop from the picture. I resize it to 1920 by 1080. And then the B picture is a 1920 by 1080 crop out of however megapixels it is. The R7 is 35 megapixel. So a 1920 by like 1080 crop is like, that's super magnification. So we're going to see, how good is this lens, the EFS 15-85, 3.5 to 5.6. I shot mostly at ISO 400, but I did a lot of 800. If you pixel peep, some of the pictures just don't look sharp. Now, I was shooting at some pretty slow shutter speeds, and maybe it was the IS wasn't kicking in. Now, the camera supposedly has IS built into the chip, so I don't know if they were fighting each other, or I'm supposed to shut one off, or something like that. I'm going to have to do some more experimenting. Now, they were all totally acceptable, except they weren't as crisp and sharp as I thought they should be. So I'm going to have to delve into it some more, use some other lenses, see which... and that's another thing with the R7, is that they changed their menu a little bit. It's still a Canon-ish, but it also looked like it was moving a little bit towards Nikon-ish, sort of a menu layout. So that's something I got to get used to. But out of the box, I went to the park. All the pictures were acceptable. Now you got to remember, how many times you're going to look at 8x magnification or something crazy like that. Generally, you're going to pick almost the full frame for a photo. But as you can see, some of the pictures are sharp. It's a lot of B pictures that look a little bit blurry to me. So that remains to be seen, And the DEFS 1585, well, I guess it's a classic lens, but it's becoming vintage because now that the R7 is out, all these EOS lenses are going to be discontinued. And I'm not saying that the 15 to 85 is a bad lens. I've used it on other cameras, and I always got satisfactory or excellent results out of it. So I don't know what to say, But and then, like I said before, the reason I got the R7 because it was 35 megapixels, and the thing I like this picture. That's a nice crop. The thing is, I have a whole bunch of 20 and 24 megapixel cameras. Some of them are full frame. Like I got the D5 Mark II, which is 20 megapixel full frame. I have the Nikon Z6, which is 24 megapixel full frame. I have some APS-C crop sensors that are 20 and 24 megapixel. So I said, well, I really want to get one of those full frame 40 megapixels, but they were big bucks. I'll just have to wait until, I could pick one up used. But the R7 was very reasonably priced. And you know what? Used ones, you only save like $100 on them. So if you're going to get a brand new one, there's a store selling them at the same price as everyone else down the street. So I went and I got it there with the EOS adapter and an extra battery. And I felt like I got a good bargain, This definitely looks a little bit blurry to me. I don't know why. There's all sorts of things to adjust. Of course, I always do the in-camera sharpening and try to make the image look good. And then it recognized every lens I put on it, every Canon lens I put on it, it recognized it. So it would do all that, these cameras have lookup tables of all their lenses, right? And it applies some algorithm to it that's supposed to remove whatever funkiness these lenses have, whether it's vignetting, distortion, all that stuff. They just apply it, right? Lens correction. And it's supposed to be perfect, but is it really? I don't know. I can't say. I was satisfied. I had to toss a couple pictures, quite a number, maybe like 10 or 15. I just didn't like the way they came out, or there's just my technique. Sometimes I notice when I go to press the shutter button, I jerk it instead of just squeezing it gently. I don't know, I spaz out. So I have to double take some pictures. And it seems like sometimes the first one where I jerked it comes out better than the one where I squeeze it. Maybe it makes the IS kick in. I don't know what to say. But I found most of the pictures acceptable, or more than acceptable. But I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna shoot some more different lenses, and I got all the manual adapters so I could throw my vintage stuff on there and see how that works out. Now, following is a short video clip of a gurgling brook, and you may want to turn your video down a little bit right now.